How you spend your days is how you spend your life. So today we're going to talk about doom scrolling, but also how to unrot your brain. So before that, let's do my coffee for today. So let's get started. So I have my coffee here. So delicious. So let's just get started with the first step, which is how to unrot your brain. And this is a really interesting topic because I feel like we all are in this situation where we are doom scrolling constantly. And it was just a few days ago, I just find myself scrolling three things at the same time. So I was watching a YouTube video on my laptop while I was having my phone, scrolling through my phone while I was listening to a podcast. So literally I was doing three things at the same time. Most people, I feel like they realize that, but they are like really hard to stop scrolling on, especially like on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. I feel like it's really hard to really stop to do that. So these few things that I have on this pretty book, I have written down actually 5 things that I would like you to try to at least try out some of the things here. It doesn't need to be everything, but if you just at least try one thing, I think it will be so helpful. So let's just get started with the first one, okay? So the first thing is actually to read more. And when I say read more, people often think about, these heavy topics like history or self-help books and something like that. And I feel like you don't really need to, always have to read about these books. You can read about books that are like something else, like fantasy, fiction, romance. Like all these books are really interesting. And when you just read about this kind of different topic than you used to, I think that it will be really captivating and you will learn so much things. And one thing that really got me into reading, it was actually I think like I always have loved reading, but I think it really started at I think it was in my 8th grade or 9th grade there, and I started reading a book. I think it was Red Queen, and that was a really interesting book. It was so captivating because it was not what I have been used to, and it was really interesting because I just really dived into a really different world, okay? And then I remembered that so vividly that I had a test, and I think it was either English or Swedish, that we were supposed to write about some different topic, okay? And I remember myself, I have become so much better at writing because before that I used to like really hard time coming up with ideas and with words. I thought that was really difficult, but after reading constantly for like months, I really saw a difference because I come up with ideas so much easily, and my mind was full of ideas and words because I was just really writing in like really flow state, which had literally never happened before. So I can really, when we are reading, sometimes we don't often see result, okay? We have to do that so many times in order for us to see a result. So reading is so important, guys, okay? So the second thing is that stop consuming things all the time. And it's like much easier said than done. And I feel like the most people that really know me is that I really love listening to podcasts. Like it's really one of my favorite things to do. It's I think it was just a few years back, like when I went to high school, the first thing I did in the morning was like the first thing that I did in the morning was taking up my phone, go to Spotify and listen to my favorite podcast. And then when I on my way to school, I will listen to podcasts or music. And then in school, if I have time, I will listen to podcasts. And after school, I will listen to podcasts. I was listening to podcasts constantly. And it is really nice, to listen to a podcast and learn something new, or just, vibing with the person who's doing the podcast. But our brain doesn't have time to process the things we have listened to. So when we're always listening to it, doom scrolling, the TikTok we watch, we often, after watching TikToks for hours, we don't really remember what we have watched. We don't really learn stuff, we just consume because it has become a habit for us. So we have to really think about what we are consuming. And one thing I started actually doing is that whenever I was going out and taking a walk, what I used to do was listening to either music or podcast. So I started not to do that. So what I do instead is that I go to my voice memo and I start to talk about random stuff. Like if I'm mad at something, I would just really talk about that. If I are thinking about something, I will talk really so much about that topic. If I am stressed out, I would just talk to my voice memo, and it has become a really habit for me, because a really good habit for me as well, because I really didn't like to talk. So that's a way for me to let out all the emotions that I have, just talking and rambling about stuff. So that's a really nice thing to do. So if you don't really want to walk alone with no distractions, you can just talk to yourself, because sometimes we people are too lazy to journal. So why can't we just talk about the things that we are thinking or maybe worried or happy about? So why can't we just talk to ourselves? So that's a really nice tips for you guys, to talk and use your voice memo. So we can dive into the first step. So the third thing is that learn how to be bored, because I think we all human beings on earth right now are so scared of being bored, because we think boredom is when we have no distraction at all. For example, when we are at home or we have nothing to do, we don't want to be in that point of state. We're really afraid to the boredom, to be bored. Oh, that's so boring, it's coming to the point where when we like me, when I'm watching a video on YouTube and I'm looking through my phone or social media at the same time while listening to a podcast, it has become to that point that we are just okay with consuming one thing. We want to consume several things for that time, which is so really sick, to be honest. And so we really want to ourselves to learn ourselves to be bored, okay? And so how do we do that? I feel like it's really hard to, stop with all the distractions like really fast. I think that's really impossible to do that. I think we will just, after just few days, I think that we will just go through our social media and scrolling through the thing, and I think that we will be in the same circle again. So I think that one thing that I have actually implemented is that take only 5 minutes a day, okay? Only 5 minutes to be just being bored, okay? The thing is that when you do this stuff, there are several rules that you have to follow, okay? The first thing is that no distractions, no noise, no phone, no podcast, no music. So you just sit by yourself with nothing, literally no distractions, with no noise, like I said before. And what you are going to do is that you're not going to do anything, okay? You're just going to be sit there and with your thoughts, okay? How fun is that? So you're just going to be take a timer on 5 minutes and sit by yourself and just sit with your thoughts. Like, it can be really boring. It's really hard in the beginning, especially really hard in the beginning, but you have to trust that because it will get easier. And I think that that's a really good exercise for your brain to just be in this quiet place and just think and stay in your own thoughts. Because I think that I don't know if you guys heard of this experiment where they were like, many people were in this experiment and they had like two choices, okay? One was like, you can either sit by yourself in this, it was like I think they were in this room like by themselves, like stay in this room for 30 minutes, or I don't really remember, okay? But it was something like that, like stay in this room for 10 or 15 minutes, or you can get this electric shock. And the result is really shocking, because what most people they choose was actually getting electric shocked by this thing. So people would rather get this dopamine, like shocked by an electricity, than sitting by yourself with your thoughts. Like, okay, that was an experiment that people did, and I feel like most people will choose the electricity over sitting by your thoughts. But if you really think about it, will you rather, like, the times you scroll on social media, for example, like 5, 4, 3 hours, like, compare that to 5 minutes. That's really, it's not a waste of time. Most people think that, 5 minutes, I don't have time for that. Well, look at your phone and see how much time you spend on social media. Like, I think you have time for 5 minutes a day to just sit by yourself and do nothing, okay? So do that, okay? Try to do that. And the fourth thing is that be more creative, and that is that do something new each day. It can be about take a new workout, try a new workout, or it can be try a new path to work or school, or it can be try out a new cooking recipe. And that's what when I was in high school, I used to do that constantly. And it is that I try to do things that's cool, really random things, okay? I really try to do really random things that's cool to really spice up my life. Like, I try singing karaoke in the toilet, like in the bathroom with my friends. Like I came up with really stupid ideas and stupid things to do in school to just really have like more fun in school. And it can be about like literally so anything else, like read a topic about this subject, or it can be about do something, try out this in school, or ask your teacher about this kind of question. Like really random things that really just make a difference in your life and just makes your life more richer or much eventful, I would say. And that's what I really have for a day. And I really like this, when people talk about how to unrot your brain, because I feel like that's a really, really interesting topic, and I feel like everyone should really try to implement one of these things. You don't have to start to change like everything in just one day, because it would be really hard. Just try out small, okay? Just try out small bit of the time. Start with, I will really recommend start with taking only 5 minutes of your day to do nothing. Like how nice is that, to do really literally nothing? And one rule I'm going to add is that no sleep during that 5 minutes, okay? You're going to just sit by yourself like that and do nothing. No sleep, no like sleep. Okay, that's really easy, okay? And I hope you have a really nice day, and if you want the part 2 on something similar, I would really be glad to do that, because I really like this topic. And thank you guys for watching, and bye.